Hello, Gemini! Welcome. This is going to be your video for the first half of July 2020. I'm going to take a look into your recent past, your current energy, and then any incoming immediate future type energies for you. This is going to be a reading about you in relation to something. This can be you with you. This can be you and a work situation. This can be you and a, père amour, like whatever. These are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, please give it a like. Please let me know what's going on in the comment section so that we can not be strangers, because this is about community more than ever right now. So anyways, what else can I really say about that? Nothing. Great, let's get into it. The first half of July is pretty hairy. We have Saturn is moving back into Capricorn on the 1st when this video is going to be going up, as well as we have another eclipse on the 5th. So this is 3 out of 6 for 2020 and the last of the season. So have fun, I'm just trying to buckle up. But the Ace of Swords is jumped out for you. What's going on for Queen of Cups reverse? What's going on for Gemini? To admit, I'm extremely curious because all my Gemini friends are like, I mean, it's always like that because Geminis are fascinating, but like more than usual. Okay, we've got your recent past. We've got your current situation. And we have your incoming energies. Okay. Okay. What? Whatever, man. Alright, you wildin', Gems. You wildin'. Okay, so bottom of the deck. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. We have the King of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Lovers. So I feel like there was something that passed you by. Something you felt passed you by. And you used your head to figure out, or you like bashed your head against it in some way, like to try and figure out like why, like what led me up until this point. And unfortunately, it's turning you from your true nature into someone who's telling stories about other people or situations and like not understanding like the truth of the situation. It's like your analysis paralysis has now gone into the next phase where you're now starting to tell toxic myths to yourself. Maybe about yourself, maybe about other people. Maybe this is just, like kind of, we're going to see. We're going to explore it a little bit more, but I feel like that's kind of the theme for you for this reading. So missed opportunities that turn into toxic self-talk. Okay. Okay. I feel like for you, Gemini, I see a lot of like battling kind of energy here. We've got, in your recent past, we've got the Ace of Wands, Five of Wands, and the Chariot. So I feel like you really wanted to accomplish something and you didn't really care who you hurt or what you had to do it. This is something that's like very primordial feeling. It feels like it was like you had so much drive to accomplish and to do it, and you wanted to work with people in order to do it, but it kind of feels like it got to a point where you just decided to go your own way and to go solo with it. This may have just been you like conflicting with a community in some way, or like community members, or just, like the last couple of weeks, this is your recent past situation. The last couple of weeks, like we had Mars moving back into Aries, and that's like some pretty like spicy stuff. And I believe Aries falls in your, 11th house, so like house of friendships. So you might just be like having a little bit of like spiciness with the people in your life. That's what it looks like. It resulted in this Four of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, reverse Two of Cups energy. So I feel like whatever it was that came up in these conflicts, in these fights, in these discussions, it made you like really, really start to protect yourself again. You really were like, okay, well, if you're not going to see it my way, I'm not going to tell you anymore. It kind of feels like you tried to tell, your side of the story. And it kind of feels like nobody was really listening. So now you're like, well, you know, I guess that's telling me everything I need to know about that situation. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like you're still feeling really restless about it in some way. I feel like, actually, I'm going to come back to this because I feel like we have things to clarify with this card, but I'm not quite sure what. And then we have the Two of Cups reversed as well. So you might have been latching on to someone in particular or something as a result of feeling misunderstood by other people. Or this can also just like play out as like, you know, there's like this energy of like fighting with everyone, feeling misunderstood. Okay, I'm gonna super like highly protect myself. And then it's like you build up this wall against everybody, like absolutely everybody. And it's like, okay, well, okay, I guess, you know, like Two of Cups reversed. This can also be you just like understanding that like what you were wanting before was a little bit of a codependency. Maybe understanding that like the reasons, again, with the general energy, with that Ace of Pentacles, the reasons things fell through is because there wasn't a totally healthy dynamic. And maybe that's why you had to battle through it. You know, maybe that's why you had to like spar with the people in your communities to be like, what we're doing isn't working. How can we find the best possible outcome? And like, there's a little bit of like play fighting, but there's like a little bit of like truth in every jab, you know what I mean? But it's like now you're coming to this place where you're realizing like you have a lot of codependent sort of relationships and situationships and things that weren't really doing you a great service. And now you're like, okay, I need to like protect my energy. I need to like cleanse my auric field. I need to be like not going out and like spreading it around so much. I need to be just like getting back into what feels good for Gem, right? Yeah. Okay, so in your incoming energies, we have the World reversed, we have the Magician, we have the Five of Swords. Yeah, so like, you know, you won some kind of a battle. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know, you know? I don't know. Kind of wonder about that, just because it feels like there was a cycle that needed to complete itself here. But maybe somewhere in that infighting, instead of learning how to trust the seeds of that cycle that had been planted prehistorically, you know, you decided instead, I would like to just come out on top. And this doesn't have to be you. This can be, you know, somebody else is doing this to you. I don't know. You'll know. Yeah, you'll know in your heart of hearts. But you are also, now you've got this awesome energy, the Magician. You know, creator, creatrix, whatever, supreme. And I really do feel like it has come as a result of like you liberating yourself from these toxic patterns, from like understanding like your energy is like super, super protected when you choose what is allowed in it. And that's everything, down to your thoughts, down to your food, down to the people you let spend time in the same room as you. Like, it's everything. Yeah, and actually like with this one column, it's like it goes like the Chariot, the Two of Cups reversed, and then the Five of Swords. It's like I kind of do feel like even though a part of you is smarting from this, like a part of you is like, ooh, that hurt. You know, that was a battle I would rather have not gone through. It's kind of a great thing though, because you have gone through it and now you're like, I feel like you're going to be more prepared, more realistic about what you do with this Magician energy. You aren't going to be as like liberal, I want to say, or as flippant with your energy, or as like optimistic that things are going exactly the way that they should. You're going to be way more realistic. You know, it's going to be like, I made these mistakes in the past and things, you know, like things didn't go the way I wanted them to, but now I know why. And so like, even though it was like kind of a hard battle to win, it still is like kind of showing up as a very positive thing because you are coming through as this magician and it's like, you know, like do what you gotta do, girl. Like, I don't know. Let's clarify a little bit. I'm curious, what's about this Ace of Wands in the past? What was this thing that you were fighting for? What was Gemini fighting for? Okay. We've got the Three of Swords. We've got the Chariot again, reversed this time. And we've got the Magician again. Why do I get the feeling that we're going to get all the same cards for you there, Gemini? Because this is like the third reading I've done this evening, and it's like every single time it's like the same cards have been showing up for everyone. So it's like just a very, very clear message for you tonight. Your message. This is what we're doing. You were fighting for like yourself. You were fighting for your truth. You were fighting for This is weird. It's like you were, it's seeming as though the things you have, I feel like you manifested this whole situation. You're going to hate me for saying that, I'm aware, but, bear with me. The reason I say that is because the Ace of Wands and the Magician showing up twice, this is like you have created this situation in of yourself. And I feel like there wasn't a lot of mindfulness around how it was done. There's a lot of hurt feelings for you underneath the surface. Three of Swords, I mean, just look at the image. It's not sunshines and rainbows, like this is heartache. It's like people hurt you in the past. The Chariot reverse, I mean, this might be like an imbalance of, I don't like gender politics, as you're aware. You have been at my channel for a little while, but if you're new, I don't like gender politics. But this card kind of talks about like balancing like the more outwards yang aspects of our personalities with like the inwards yin parts of our personality. When it's in the reverse, there's an imbalance there, and I feel like that's where you've been manifesting from. Been manifesting from this place of hurt and of like, instead of, because there's a lot of heat here, like there's a lot of fire, a lot of wandy kind of like phallic energy, and it's like, it's almost like that yang-y part of your personality has like taken over. Because maybe it's just easier than sitting with the Queen of Cups, sitting with your own fears. I don't know. You're gonna have to take a second to decide if that's true for you. If it is, you got what you wanted in the end, which is great, but those feelings are still there. And they're still going to be there until you deal with them. This Chariot, we have the Queen of Swords, the Two of Swords reversed, and we have the Three of Cups reversed. Yeah, you had to make a decision about a friend group of some kind. I feel like you kind of didn't want to, I feel like you didn't have See, here's the thing. It's like you were enjoying your time with friend group, I feel like, or you were enjoying your time with like a cohort of like whomevers. But something just like turned a little bit. It's like you kind of felt like you were pissing away your energy by spending a lot of time with them. It was like it's all fun and games, but there's no meat. Like, not literal meat, but like there's no like substance here. There's no depth. There's nothing to keep me grounded and to like help me see your true colors. Maybe this is you seeing people's true colors and like backing away really quickly because you realized that like what was there was undesirable and it was unhealthy, and you were like, I'm out so hard, like it's gonna make your head spin. And now this Three of Swords makes sense. Now I'm like, I don't blame you. I see you. Like, fuck, if I was that hurt and if I was that craving of depth, I would do the exact same thing. It's just that you've manifested this situation kind of like, I'm wondering if you aren't like understanding that or understanding the power that you have in that, and like the accountability piece that goes with that. You know, let's go into your present moment with this Knight of Wands. Why is it here? We have the Ace of Wands, we have the Fool, and we have the Emperor reversed. Okay. Okay, Queen. Ace of Wands twice. Again, like, this is like, you know, it's very young. Very outwards young energy, especially with this Emperor. This is like driving force of ambition. And again, before you leap, it is that power piece. Like, I really want you to be understanding, like, why this situation happened. You know, you are ready to create something new. I feel like, you know, we've got the Magician twice, we've got the Fool, like, we've got the World reversed, which is like a cycle that's trying to complete itself, but it's not going to complete itself until those feelings get dealt with, and you can't run away from them. Okay, you can't ambition yourself out of them. You can't, whatever. It's uncomfortable, it's shitty, it's going to make you vulnerable, it's whatever, but like, you're going to be super isolated if you don't kind of take the steps within yourself to finding ways to resolve this conflict in future, because I feel like it might come back. You know, the World is reversed. It's like, it's a cycle that is like partially completed, or like you feel like it's more completed than it is, but like it's probably going to come back around because there's some like missing pieces to it. And this is what it is. It's like, when it comes back around, how are you going to deal with it in a way that is like, you know, like grounded, calm? How do I approach you with compassion but truth? You know, even though these might be, you know, the situation might be something that doesn't have a ton of depth or compassion or whatever, it's like, you might just be, you might be well served to remember that even though they or the situation doesn't have depth, doesn't mean you don't. And you still have the responsibility as the person who's carrying depth to behave with the stewardship of someone who does. Okay, that's what it is. I feel pretty good about this whole spread, and I kind of get the feeling that we're just going to be clarifying and getting the same sort of messages if we talk more. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with a couple of cards from the universe with the Hush Tarot, which is my favorite. Not my favorite. I've been working a lot with this deck lately, and she is babe. Just like the artistry is really beautiful, and I like things that are pretty. I'm a Libra dominant person. Okay. Are there any other messages for Gemini? Okay. Got the Queen of Wands reversed. The Six of Swords reversed. We have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. All right. I want you to give permission to yourself to undergo this transition. Okay. Whatever it is that you want to put your work into, it is okay to detach from one area of your life, one aspect of your life over the next couple of weeks in order to do that. And you know why you have to do that. You know, it's gonna, you know, maybe it's gonna take a little bit of time for the situation to find resolution, but, you know, the waters may be uncertain, but you know in your heart of hearts what you need to do. And so give yourself permission to do it. Because you're the only person who really can. So that's what I have for you. I hope this resonates. If it does, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in your next reading, and I wish you good luck.